Don't mistake movement for achievement. It's easy to stay busy. It's harder to stay productive. Most people stay busy their whole life and never realize they are getting nowhere. They wake up, jump into the day, rush from one task to another, and collapse at night thinking they've made progress. But busy hands don't always build a better future. Being tired doesn't always mean you accomplish something that matters. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day and realize you spent years moving without meaning. In this video, we are going to talk about something that can change everything for you. We're going to break down why busy doesn't mean productive. We're going to show you how to protect your time, how to aim your work at what actually matters, and how to stop wasting your best energy on things that steal your future. If you've been feeling tired but not proud, if you've been staying active but not getting closer to your real dreams, this message is for you. Stick with me, because once you understand the difference between just being busy and being truly productive, you will start building a life you don't have to escape from. You will move with purpose, you will create real progress, and you will never waste another day just spinning in circles again. Number 1, design your day with purpose and strong intention. Every day is a brand new opportunity, but only if you treat it like one. You see, life doesn't reward the person who stays the busiest. Life rewards the person who plans wisely, who decides early, and who follows through with strong intention. If you wake up and just jump into the day without any purpose, you're handing over your life to circumstances. You're letting someone else decide how your energy will be spent. And most people live like that for years without even realizing it. They mistake activity for achievement. They confuse being busy with being important. But real success doesn't come from how much you run around. It comes from how well you planned before you moved. It's not about working all day long. It's about working with your mind clear and your purpose strong. When you design your day with real purpose, you wake up ahead of most people. Most people start their morning reacting. They grab the phone, check social media, answer random emails, and start solving problems that don't even belong to them. And by noon, they are already exhausted. Not because they worked hard on their goals, but because they got pulled into everybody else's agenda. Don't live like that. There's a better way to move through life. Wake up with a map in your hand, a real plan. Before the day even starts, you must know what deserves your energy and what doesn't. You must decide where your focus will go, because if you don't choose, the world will choose for you. And the world rarely picks what's best for your future. Strong intention is not about being rigid or perfect. It's about having clarity. It's about knowing what matters today and protecting it with your actions. Imagine walking into a day where you already know your top 3 priorities. Imagine knowing exactly which meetings deserve your attention and which distractions you will ignore without guilt. That's what happens when you design your day before it begins. You move with strength. You feel lighter, you work faster, you experience less stress, and at the end of the day, you don't just feel tired, you feel proud, because your energy went toward building something real. The truth is, most people spend their day responding instead of creating. They spend their time putting out fires instead of planting seeds. And they wonder why life feels stuck. They wonder why year after year, the goals they dream about stay out of reach. It's not because they didn't work hard. It's because they never learned to work with intention. They worked on everything except the right things. They stayed busy without moving closer to their dreams. And busyness without purpose is one of the biggest traps a person can fall into. It steals your time. It steals your energy. It even steals your self-respect. Because deep down, you always know when you're not giving your best attention to the things that truly matter. Now imagine starting your day a little differently. Imagine sitting down each night, even just for 10 minutes, to think about tomorrow. Writing down the top 2 or 3 things that will truly move your life forward. Not the little tasks, not the chores that make you feel busy. I'm talking about the actions that would make a real difference if you completed them. That's how you design a life, not by luck, not by chance, but by deliberate daily planning. Purpose is powerful because it gives your actions meaning, and strong intention means you are no longer living at the mercy of interruptions and distractions. You are steering your own ship, You don't need a perfect schedule. You don't need to fill every hour. You just need a clear reason for why you're doing what you're doing. And once you have that reason, protect it. Guard it like it matters, because it does. When you know your priorities, you're not easily pulled off track. When you know your mission for the day, you're not impressed by every new thing that demands your attention. You start to respect your own time more. You start to say no more often and without guilt. You stop apologizing for focusing on your own goals. And the amazing thing is people start to respect you more too when they see you living with direction. Strong intention also gives you peace of mind. At the end of the day, you don't have to sit there wondering where the hours went. You don't have to feel frustrated because you were busy but achieved nothing meaningful. You can look at your plan, check off your top priorities, and know in your heart that you made today count. That feeling builds confidence. It builds momentum. It creates a sense of inner strength that no one can give you. You have to earn it. And you earn it by showing up for your own goals every single day, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's easier to just react. I'm not saying it's always easy. There will be distractions. There will be emergencies. There will be unexpected problems. That's life. But the difference between the person who succeeds and the person who stays stuck is this. The successful person knows how to adjust without losing their intention. Even if the day doesn't go perfectly, they still protect their core goals. They still fight for their priorities. They don't just throw the day away because something didn't go according to plan. They stay grounded because they built their day on purpose, not on chance. And here's the beautiful part. The more you design your days with purpose, the easier it gets. It becomes a way of life. You no longer panic when things get busy because you already know what deserves your time. You no longer feel guilty for saying no because you know what you're protecting. You no longer feel overwhelmed by life because you have built the habit of leading it. So if you want more out of life, it's simple. Start with today. Decide tonight how tomorrow will go. Write it down, make it clear, pick 2 or 3 things that matter most. Then show up and honor your own plan. Protect your hours like they are gold. Because they are. Nobody else will value your time as much as you must. Nobody else will design your future for you, and the truth is, nobody else should. Busy doesn't mean productive. Busy doesn't mean important. Movement doesn't mean progress. Only strong, daily purpose can turn an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. And it all starts with how you design your day. Start now. Your future is already waiting. Number 2, evaluate your efforts by results, not how tired you feel. There's a mistake a lot of people make without even knowing it. They think that feeling tired at the end of the day means they were productive. They believe that if they come home exhausted, that somehow proves they moved closer to their dreams. But the truth is, tiredness does not always mean achievement. Being tired means you used your energy, yes, but how you used it, that's what matters. You could run in circles all day long and still end up right where you started. You could attend 100 meetings, answer 200 emails, return 50 phone calls, and still have nothing real to show for it. It's not the sweat that counts. It's not the number of hours you stayed busy. It's the result that matters. It's the impact. It's what got built, not just what got talked about. You have to start seeing your life differently if you want to get ahead. You have to train your mind to focus on output, not just effort. There's a big difference between working hard and working effectively. There's a big difference between filling a schedule and building a life. And the faster you understand that, the faster you can change everything. You can save years of frustration simply by asking better questions at the end of your day. Not did I stay busy, not am I exhausted, but did I move the needle? Did I make real progress towards something that matters? That's what matters. That's how you win. When you focus only on how tired you feel, you are measuring the wrong thing. You are looking at the wrong scoreboard. It's like a basketball team celebrating how many times they ran up and down the court without checking if they actually scored any points. It doesn't matter how much you moved. It matters if the movement created progress. Too many people are addicted to activity. They love checking things off lists. They love saying they had a busy day. But if you look closer, you'll see a different story. You'll see goals untouched, dreams sitting in the same place, years passing without the real change they promised themselves they would make. Every evening, you should hold yourself to a higher standard. Not just did I survive the day, but what did I actually accomplish today? Not how much energy did I spend, but where did my energy go, and was it worth it? You have to be honest with yourself, because nobody else will be as honest as you need them to be. Nobody else is going to walk into your life and say, hey, you're working hard, but you're not working smart. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And if you take it seriously, you can change everything faster than you think. One thing that helped me years ago was learning how to separate activity from achievement. Just because I was busy didn't mean I was productive. Just because my schedule was full didn't mean my future was getting stronger. I had to sit down and look at the facts. I had to ask myself hard questions. What actually got built today? What did I create that wasn't here yesterday? What foundation did I lay for tomorrow? If the answer was nothing, it didn't matter how many hours I stayed on my feet. It didn't matter how many calls I made or how many meetings I booked. Without real results, I was just busy being busy. And busy being busy is the enemy of success. The moment you start judging your day by results, you start gaining power. You stop lying to yourself. You stop giving yourself fake credit for being exhausted. You stop celebrating busyness like it's some badge of honor. And you start focusing on building. You start focusing on finishing. You start focusing on winning. And when you live like that day after day, everything changes. You get better faster. You grow stronger. You build confidence because you can see real progress stacking up. You're no longer fooled by how tired you feel. You are driven by the results you are creating. You deserve more than just feeling tired at the end of the day. You deserve the pride of knowing you made real progress. You deserve the strength that comes from seeing your dreams move closer because of what you did today. You deserve the peace that comes from knowing you didn't waste your hours just reacting to life. You use them to create a future you can be proud of. But that only happens when you start measuring the right things. That only happens when you stop giving yourself credit for just being busy. That only happens when you demand more from yourself than just exhaustion. It's not about working 20 hours a day. It's not about staying awake the longest. It's not about running yourself into the ground. It's about what you can produce. It's about what you can build. It's about the life you can shape through smart, focused, intentional action. Winners don't win because they move more. Winners win because they move better. They make each step count. They make each day count. And they don't confuse being tired with being productive. They understand that results are the real scoreboard of life. So the next time you find yourself saying, I worked so hard today, stop for a second. Ask yourself the real question. What did I finish today that matters? What did I move forward that will pay off tomorrow? If you can answer those questions with real results, celebrate. If you can't, don't get discouraged, just get smarter. Use it as fuel. Use it as a wake-up call to start living differently. Because you deserve to see real progress for the work you put in. You deserve more than just tired muscles. You deserve results that make your life better. Train yourself to be a results thinker, not a movement thinker. Train yourself to be a progress maker, not a busyness chaser. Protect your energy by aiming it where it matters most. Direct your focus to tasks that pay you back. And always remember, it's not how many hours you work today, it's what you built inside those hours that will define your future. Tiredness is temporary, but results are what stay. Start today, start tonight. Before you close your eyes, ask yourself, what did I accomplish today that truly matters? And if the answer is not strong enough, make a stronger plan for tomorrow. Do not settle for empty tiredness. Build a life filled with real progress. Build a life where every effort leads you somewhere better. That is how you change your life. That is how you win. Number 3, stop saying yes to things that waste your time. One of the best skills you can ever build in your life is learning how to say no. Not because you are rude, not because you are selfish, but because you finally realize that your time is your life. Every yes you say to something unimportant is a no to something that could have changed your future. And if you don't start protecting your time today, I promise you, the world will keep finding ways to waste it for you. There is no shortage of people who will ask for your hours, your focus, your energy. They will come with their problems, their distractions, their small emergencies, and if you don't have the strength to say no, you will spend your days running in circles, exhausted, drained, and no closer to the life you dreamed about. Saying yes to everything might feel good in the moment. It might feel polite. It might feel like you are being helpful. But if you're not careful, you wake up one day and realize you have spent years doing things that never really mattered to you. Years helping everyone else chase their dreams while yours stayed parked on the sidelines. It is not noble to sacrifice your future for someone else's distraction. It is not strength to fill your schedule with tasks that lead you nowhere. It is weakness. It is fear of disappointing people. It is fear of standing firm. But if you want real success, real peace, and a real life you are proud of, you have to start being honest about where your yes belongs. Every yes must be earned. Your time is too precious to hand out like candy. Your energy is too valuable to spend on things that give you nothing back. Every time you say yes to something small, you are saying no to something great. Every time you agree to something you know deep down does not matter, you are stealing from your own future. And here's the hard truth most people avoid. It's not that there is not enough time. It's not that there are too many distractions. It's that too many people are afraid to say no. Learning to say no is a muscle. It feels uncomfortable at first. You worry what people will think. You worry they will be upset. You worry you will miss something. But with practice, it gets easier. You start to realize that most of the things you say no to never really mattered in the first place. You start to realize that people who truly respect you will respect your boundaries. And you start to realize that every no you say to the wrong things is a yes to the right things. A yes to your health, a yes to your dreams, a yes to your peace of mind, a yes to your best life. When you stop saying yes to time wasters, you get your life back. You get your mornings back. You get your focus back. You get your energy back. And you start moving faster toward your real goals. You start feeling stronger inside because you are no longer living your life based on guilt or fear. You are living based on purpose and intention. And people can feel that strength in you. They can feel that you are a person who knows where they are going, a person who values their life too much to throw it away on every little request that comes along. Not everything deserves your time. Not every invitation deserves a response. Not every opportunity is really an opportunity. Some things are distractions dressed up as obligations. Some things are noise pretending to be urgent. You have to be smart enough to see through it. You have to be strong enough to walk away. Because every time you protect your time, you protect your future. Every time you say no to the wrong thing, you say yes to the life you are trying to build. You are not here to live everybody else's life. You are not here to chase every meaningless task that shows up. You are here to build something better. You are here to fulfill your own calling. And that means you have to start being ruthless with your time. You have to be kind, yes, but firm. You have to be respectful, yes, but unshakable. You have to know deep inside what matters and refuse to be pulled away from it. Nobody else is going to protect your time for you. Nobody else is going to guard your calendar. Nobody else is going to say no for you. That's your job. And every day you hesitate, every day you avoid it, every day you say yes when you should say no, you are giving away pieces of the life you could have built. Small pieces at first, but over time it adds up. A year goes by, then 5, then 10. And you realize how much you lost simply because you were afraid to say no. Start practicing today. Start with the small things. When someone asks you to do something you know does not serve your goals, politely decline. When a distraction shows up, let it pass by. When your old habits tempt you to fill your schedule just to stay busy, resist it. Remember that every yes has a cost, and if you keep saying yes to the wrong things, you will never have room for the right ones. Say no is not about being harsh. It's about being clear. It's about being committed. It's about knowing that your time is your most precious currency and treating it with the respect it deserves. Every day you get 24 hours, not a minute more, not a minute less. How you spend those hours will decide the life you live. Waste them on things that don't matter, and you get a life that doesn't matter. Guard them for things that build you, and you build a life that matters. You can't please everyone, and you're not supposed to. You were not put here to make everybody else comfortable. You were put here to grow, to improve, to reach higher, to become your best self. And that means you must stop saying yes to things that pull you away from that mission. You must stop allowing guilt and fear to run your schedule. You must take back control, because the life you want is still possible. The dreams you have are still alive, but only if you start protecting them. Your future deserves a stronger you. Your dreams deserve a smarter you. Your goals deserve a more focused you. Stop saying yes to everything. Stop giving your precious life away one small piece at a time. Start being intentional. Start being selective. Start choosing your yes like your future depends on it, because it does. Say yes only to the things that move you forward. Say yes only to the things that make you stronger. Say yes only to the life you truly want. You owe it to yourself to live with purpose. You owe it to yourself to protect your time. You owe it to yourself to say no, not out of anger, but out of deep respect for the life you are trying to build. It's your time. It's your future. And it's your responsibility to protect it, starting right now. Number 4, choose to work smart instead of working all day. There's something powerful about working hard. There's pride in it. Rolling up your sleeves, doing what needs to be done, that's important. But here's the catch. Working hard without working smart is like digging a hole with a spoon when there's a shovel leaning against the wall. You see, effort by itself is not the full story. Direction matters. Strategy matters. Common sense matters. It's not how much you work that will change your life. It's how wisely you work that makes the real difference. Long hours might impress your friends. Long hours might even fool you for a while. But the real winners in life are not the ones who just stay the busiest. They are the ones who figure out how to get the right things done, in the right way, at the right time. It is not a badge of honor to work 12 hours a day if you are moving an inch forward every week. There's no trophy for staying up all night doing work that could have been done in half the time with better planning. Working smart does not mean being lazy. It means being effective. It means asking better questions before you start. It means pausing long enough to think, is this the best use of my time? Is there a better way to do this? Is there a shortcut that makes sense without cutting quality? Some people spend years doing it the hard way simply because they never stopped to ask a better question. They assumed that working harder was the only answer. But life doesn't just reward effort, it rewards wisdom. You can grind for years and still be behind. You can show up early and leave late and still not achieve what you are capable of achieving. The clock doesn't pay you, the result pays you. The world doesn't applaud you for how much you sweat. It rewards you for the value you create, for the problems you solve, for the goals you actually reach. If you don't learn how to work smart, you end up working for those who do. You end up following the plans of people who took the time to think, to prepare, to build leverage into their days. I learned long ago that you can save a lot of pain by thinking before moving. You can save a lot of wasted years by stepping back and asking yourself what you're really trying to accomplish. Some people are proud of being busy. They love announcing to everyone how packed their schedule is, but busyness is not the prize. In fact, if you stay busy long enough without making real progress, it turns into bitterness. Bitterness because deep inside you know you were meant for more than just running around. You were meant to win, not just to survive. The smartest workers are not always the ones who move the fastest. They are the ones who stop to see the full field. They study the patterns. They invest the first hour of the day figuring out where the big levers are. They don't mistake noise for progress. They don't confuse speed with success. They don't just say yes to everything that pops up. They design their work like a craftsman designs a piece of fine furniture. Carefully, thoughtfully, with a clear image of the final result. Working smart also means knowing when to stop. It means recognizing when you're just spinning your wheels out of habit. It means having the courage to pause, rethink, and come at the problem from a different angle. Smart workers know that sometimes the best use of an hour is to step back, take a walk, clear your mind, and come back with better ideas. They know that rest is not the enemy. They know that real productivity is measured not by how much noise you make, but by how much real progress you create. You don't get bonus points for exhaustion. You don't get ahead just because you stayed the latest at the office. You get ahead because you learned how to think better, act sharper, and build systems that carry your efforts farther. You can climb 100 flights of stairs, one painful step at a time, or you can build an elevator. Working smart is about building elevators in a world full of stairs. It's about using tools, using help, using knowledge that's already available, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel every single day. There's no shame in working hard. In fact, it's required. But if you marry hard work with smart work, now you have something powerful. Now you have something unstoppable. Now you are not just sweating, you are succeeding. You are not just filling your hours, you are filling your future. Big difference. And let's be honest, smart workers still work hard. They just work hard on the right things. They work hard at the right times. They work hard in ways that multiply their effort instead of draining it. They think about the long term, not just today's fires. They plant seeds today that will feed them tomorrow. They don't get caught chasing their own tail just to look busy. They aim their energy like an arrow, sharp and focused. And they hit their target because they were wise enough to aim before they released. Working smart also means cutting things that don't belong. It means pruning your tasks the way a gardener prunes a tree. Not every branch deserves to grow. Some things must be cut away to make room for what matters. Smart workers say no often. They prioritize ruthlessly. They value simplicity over complication. They know that doing 10 things halfway never beats doing 3 things completely. You have to ask yourself every day, am I busy? Or am I working smart? Or am I just wearing myself out to feel good in the moment? Success doesn't come from being tired. It comes from being clear. Clear about your goals, clear about your strategy, clear about your priorities. The clearer you are, the smarter you work. And the smarter you work, the more powerful your hard work becomes. You can fill a day with meetings, calls, distractions, and tasks. Or you can build a day around focused, meaningful work that moves the needle. Every day you choose. Every day you are either building your dream or draining your energy. Make the choice to think first. Make the choice to be wise first. Then move with energy. Then work hard. That's how real success is built. One smart move at a time. So remember this. Don't just work long. Work right. Don't just be proud of being tired. Be proud of building something real. Don't chase every task. Chase the right tasks, and don't ever confuse movement with progress. Work smart first, and then work hard, and you will be amazed at what your days start to produce. Number 5, be honest with yourself about what really matters. If you want to live a better life, if you want to reach higher levels of success, fulfillment, happiness, you have to sit yourself down and have one of the most important conversations you'll ever have. And that conversation is not with your boss. It's not with your friends. It's not with your family. It's with yourself. You have to ask yourself and answer honestly. What really matters to me? What do I truly want? Where am I fooling myself? Where am I drifting instead of deciding? You see, most people live life based on habit, not decision. They get caught up in the day-to-day noise. They chase what looks good on the outside. They get busy meeting expectations, chasing status, running after the next big thing. But deep inside, something feels missing. Something feels off. Why? Because they never stop to be honest about what really matters to them. They're living someone else's idea of success. They're chasing dreams they don't even care about anymore. They're spending precious years building ladders that are leaning against the wrong wall. You owe it to yourself to step out of the noise for a moment. Get quiet, get clear. Strip away the pressure, the expectations, the fear, and just ask yourself, what actually matters? Not what impresses others, not what earns applause, not what checks the boxes society hands you, but what stirs your heart, what moves your soul, what makes you proud when nobody's watching. If you're not honest about this, you'll waste years, I promise you. You'll pour your time, your energy, your life into chasing things that never belong to you. You'll hit goals and wonder why they feel empty. You'll collect achievements and wonder why they don't bring peace. That's the pain of living without self-honesty. You get everything you thought you wanted, and you still feel lost. The good news is you can fix it. You can fix it today. It starts by being brutally honest about where you are and where you're headed. Are you building a life that matters to you, or are you building a life that looks good to other people? Are you spending your days doing work that fulfills you, or are you just clocking in and clocking out, hoping for the weekend? Are you chasing goals that light you up, or goals that you chose because you thought you were supposed to? Being honest with yourself is hard because it forces you to admit uncomfortable truths. It forces you to admit when you're off track. It forces you to admit when you've been pretending, when you've been drifting, when you've been avoiding decisions you need to make. But that's the beginning of real power. That's the beginning of a life worth living. When you get clear about what matters most, you start moving differently. You stop chasing every shiny thing that pops up. You stop wasting time trying to please people who don't even matter in the end. You start saying no with strength. You start saying yes with conviction. You start choosing your path based on values, not pressure. Honesty also brings simplicity. Life gets lighter when you know what really matters. You don't need 100 goals. You don't need 10 different plans. You need clarity. Clarity about the few things that truly matter and the courage to build your life around them. When you know what matters, you can let the rest go. You can focus your energy. You can protect your time. You can live every day with a deep sense of purpose, even when life gets messy, even when challenges show up. But you can't fake this process. You can't rush it. You have to sit with yourself and do the work. You have to be willing to hear the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. Maybe what you thought you wanted 10 years ago isn't what you want now. Maybe the dream you've been chasing belongs to the person you used to be, not the person you are becoming. That's okay. Life is growth. Life is change. What matters is that you stop lying to yourself. What matters is that you start living aligned with your real values. Ask yourself right now, if nothing else mattered, if no one else had an opinion, what would I be working on? What would I be building? Who would I be becoming? If you answer that question honestly, you'll find your real mission. You'll find the life you were meant to live. And once you find it, protect it fiercely. Build it with your full heart. Don't get distracted by noise. Don't sell your soul for approval. Don't waste another year pretending you don't know what matters. The world will always offer you 1,000 distractions. There will always be someone telling you what you should want, where you should go, who you should be. But only you have to live with the consequences. Only you have to wake up every morning and face the life you're building. Make sure it's a life you're proud of. Make sure it's a life that matters to you, not just to them. Being honest with yourself is the foundation of everything. It's the starting point of a real life, a meaningful career, authentic relationships, true success. Without honesty, everything else is shaky. Without honesty, you can achieve everything and still feel empty. But with honesty, even small steps feel right. Even small victories feel rich. Even challenges feel worthwhile because you know you're fighting for something real. And here's the thing. You don't have to explain your values to anyone. You don't have to justify your dreams to people who don't understand them. You just have to live them. You just have to walk your path with your head high and your heart full. The right people will see it. The right opportunities will find you. The right life will unfold. But it all begins inside. It begins with courage. It begins with honesty. Look yourself in the eye today and ask the hard questions. What matters most? What am I willing to fight for? What am I willing to walk away from? And once you know the answers, don't hesitate. Don't delay. Start shaping your life around those answers. Start living today the way you would be proud to have lived 20 years from now. The clock is ticking, whether you're honest or not. The years are moving, whether you're true to yourself or not. The only real question is, will you use them to build a life that truly matters to you, or will you spend them living someone else's dream? You have the power to choose. You always have. Make it a wise choice. Make it an honest choice. And then give it everything you have. Number 6, track what you finish, not just what you start. Success is not measured by how many projects you start. Success is measured by how many you finish. Anybody can start. Starting is easy. Starting feels exciting. You get a new idea, a new plan, a new energy, and you jump in. But the world doesn't reward you for starting. It rewards you for finishing. The rewards, the respect, the results, they only show up when the work is done. The prize is not handed out at the beginning. It's handed out at the finish line. Now, this is where most people miss it. They have notebooks full of ideas. They have journals full of plans. They have 15 different things halfway built. But halfway built doesn't change your life. Half-finished dreams don't pay the bills. Half-finished goals don't make you stronger. It's only what you finish that moves you forward. It's only what you complete that creates real change. And that's why you must train yourself, not just to be a great starter, but a powerful finisher. When you track only what you start, you can trick yourself. You can stay busy for years and never build anything solid. You can chase 100 different ideas and have nothing to show for it. Starting feels good. It makes you feel like you're making progress. But the real test is, what did you complete? What did you see all the way through? What did you stay with long enough to make real? You have to learn to value completion over excitement. You have to learn to find your pride not just in what you begin, but in what you bring all the way to the end. When you track what you finish, your whole mindset changes. You start thinking differently about your time. You start thinking differently about your commitments. You stop jumping into everything that feels good for 5 minutes. You start being more careful. You start asking yourself before you begin, am I ready to finish this? Am I willing to see this through? It's easy to say yes to a new goal. It's harder to stay when the excitement fades. It's harder to show up when the work gets boring. It's harder to push through when progress feels slow. But that's where winners are made. That's where real strength is built. When you make the decision not just to start strong, but to finish strong. Tracking your finishes builds self-respect. It builds confidence. It creates momentum. Every time you finish something you said you would finish, you teach yourself that your word matters. You teach yourself that you can be trusted. You stack one small victory on top of another, and over time those victories become unstoppable momentum. You look back one day and realize you didn't just stay busy, you built something. You didn't just chase ideas, you completed missions. You finished what you started, and now you have results to show for it. If you track only what you start, you give yourself false credit. You feel good for a while, but it's like eating sugar, a quick high followed by a crash. But when you track what you finish, you build real satisfaction. You build the kind of strength that lasts. You build a life based on results, not just activity. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. Most people don't fail because they don't have good ideas. Most people fail because they never finish. They get halfway and stop. They lose interest. They get tired. They start something new because it feels easier than finishing what they started. And over time, that habit eats away at their confidence. It eats away at their energy. It eats away at their belief that they can truly win. But you can break that pattern. You can start today. Start small if you need to. Pick something you started and finish it. Bring it across the line. It could be a simple task. It could be a bigger goal. But finish it. And when you finish, feel that strength building inside you. Feel that pride. That's not just activity. That's real progress. When you track your finishes, you also get better at choosing what to start. You You stop chasing every little distraction. You start asking better questions. Is this worth finishing? Will this move me forward if I see it through? If the answer is yes, you commit fully. If the answer is no, you don't waste your time. You become sharper. You become more focused. You become more powerful. Finishing also builds resilience. Because let's be honest, not everything you start will stay exciting. Not every day will feel fun. Some days will be hard. Some days you won't feel like doing it. But when you decide in advance that you are a finisher, not just a starter, you build the muscles of discipline. You build the muscles of character. You push through the tough days and you finish what you said you would. That's how real winners are made. That's how real success is built. You want to build a great business? Track what you finish. You want to build a strong body? Track what you finish. You want to create a better life? Track what you finish. Ideas are everywhere. Starters are everywhere. Finishers are rare. And that's why they are rewarded. So the next time you sit down with your goals, don't just ask, what can I start today? Ask, what can I finish today? Don't just focus on feeling busy. Focus on crossing things off with pride. Focus on completing. Focus on winning. The more you finish, the more confident you become. The more you finish, the clearer your path gets. The more you finish, the closer you get to the life you dream about. Not someday, not maybe, but step by step, day by day, finish by finish. Success is not a mystery. It's not magic. It's not reserved for a lucky few. It's built by ordinary people who made one extraordinary decision, not just to start, but to finish. You can be one of those people. You can be a finisher. You can be someone who builds, who completes, who wins. It's a choice you make every single day. Choose today to be that kind of person. Choose today to track your finishes. Choose today to stop measuring your life by how many things you started and start measuring it by how many things you finished. That's where the real progress is. That's where the real power is. And that's how you change everything. Number 7, be willing to change if your plan is not working. One of the greatest mistakes you can make is falling in love with a plan that's not working. I see it all the time. People stay stuck, not because they're lazy, not because they lack ambition, but because they refuse to adjust when the adjustment was needed. They hang on to the old plan, hoping that somehow it'll just fix itself. But the truth is, if the plan is broken, wishing harder, working longer won't fix it, stubbornness won't fix it, only change will. Now, change isn't easy, I know. Changing your plan feels like admitting you made a mistake. It feels like you're giving up. But listen carefully. Adjusting your plan is not giving up. It's getting smart. It's what wise people do. It's what winners do. Winners aren't married to the method. They are married to the mission. They are committed to the outcome, not the path. If one path doesn't work, they find another. If one strategy fails, they build a better one. But they never sit still, hoping broken strategies will magically start working. You have to check yourself once in a while. You have to stop and ask, is what I'm doing still getting me closer to where I want to go? Is my strategy still strong, or am I just following it out of habit, out of pride, out of fear of looking wrong? Sometimes the boldest move you can make is not to push harder, but to pause and It's not weakness to change course, it's wisdom. It's strength, it's maturity. The ones who refuse to change get stuck. Their plans turn into prisons. They get locked into routines that don't serve them anymore. They waste years trying to revive ideas that should have been buried long ago. But the ones who stay flexible, the ones who stay open, they keep growing, they keep moving, they keep winning. Don't confuse loyalty with stubbornness. Be loyal to your dreams, yes. Be loyal to your goals, yes, but be flexible with your strategies. Hold the mission tight, but hold the method loosely. Life changes. Markets change. Opportunities shift. The world moves. If you refuse to adjust, you get left behind. And you deserve better than that. You deserve to stay in motion. You deserve to stay in growth. There's no shame in pivoting. Some of the most successful people on earth built their greatest achievements not on their first plan, but on the second, the third, sometimes even the fifth plan. They adjusted. They tried. They learned. They corrected. They didn't sit around feeling sorry for themselves because the first thing didn't work. They got busy building something better. Every plan you create is built on the information you have at the time. But as you move forward, you gain more information. You see new obstacles. You discover new resources. You realize new truths. It would be foolish to gain all that knowledge and refuse to use it. It would be foolish to say, well, this is the plan I made a year ago, so I must stick to it. No. Plans are tools, not chains. Plans are guides, not gods. You must be willing to sharpen the tool, to adjust the guide, to change when change is what's needed. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying change every time something gets hard. I'm not saying run at the first sign of discomfort. Growth requires persistence. You need grit. You need endurance. But you also need judgment. You need to know the difference between a plan that's hard and a plan that's wrong. Some plans need patience. Others need a funeral. Your job is to know which is which. And here's a little clue. If you've been grinding away for months, even years, and you're not seeing real measurable progress, not just busy work, but real growth, then it's time to rethink. It's time to step back. It's time to take an honest look and ask yourself, is there a better way? Not an easier way, a smarter way, a way that gets you closer to your goals without wasting another 5 years of your life. Changing your plan is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of leadership. It shows you're paying attention. It shows you're serious about winning. It shows you value your time and your future more than your pride. Some people are so afraid of admitting they were wrong that they keep themselves stuck in losing battles for decades. Don't be that person. Be the person who's brave enough to correct course, to make a new plan when the old one stops serving you. You don't get extra points for suffering longer than you needed to. You don't get bonus rewards for clinging to broken ideas. You win by staying awake. You win by staying flexible. You win by staying loyal to your dreams, not to the plans that were supposed to get you there. Every time you change for the better, you grow stronger. Every time you adjust your approach with wisdom, you sharpen your edge. Every time you step back, rethink, and move forward smarter, you build a future that's not just built on hope, but on strategy. And the beautiful thing is, the more you practice adjusting, the better you get at it. You stop being so afraid of change. You start seeing change as a tool, not a threat. And you start realizing that adjusting your plan is a sign you are alive, awake, moving, growing. You are not a tree. You are not stuck in one place, one method, one approach. You are a living, breathing human being with the power to think, to learn, to adapt, to reinvent. Use that power. Honor that gift. Don't let stubbornness trap you in a small life. Don't let pride lock you out of new opportunity. You started with a dream. That dream is still alive. That dream is still worth fighting for. But maybe it's time to change how you're fighting for it. Maybe it's time to lay down the broken tools and pick up smarter ones. Maybe it's time to admit what's not working and move forward with fresh strength. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's how you win. That's how you build a life that's not just busy, but meaningful. That's how you stop wasting years on dead ends and start walking faster toward the future you deserve. Be willing to change, be willing to grow. Be willing to get better every single step of the way. The dream is still alive if you are. Number 8, finish what is meaningful, not just what is urgent. Life gets loud if you're not careful. Every day something will pop up screaming for your attention. Emails marked urgent, phone calls marked urgent, people walking into your day with their emergencies expecting you to drop everything. And if you are not strong, if you are not clear, you will find yourself living every day answering everybody's emergencies and never building anything that matters to you. Finishing what's meaningful is what separates the successful from the exhausted. Anybody can spend their day putting out fires. Anybody can stay busy jumping from one little problem to the next. But building a real life, building real wealth, building real character, that only happens when you make time to finish what matters most. And most of the time, what's meaningful isn't what's screaming the loudest. It's what's waiting patiently. It's what doesn't demand attention but deserves it. Urgent is loud. Meaningful is quiet. Urgent will bang on your door. Meaningful waits for you to have the wisdom to choose it. And the truth is, your future is not built by reacting faster to noise. Your future is built by finishing the work that strengthens your foundation, even when nobody's pressuring you, even when nobody's clapping for you, even when it's not urgent. It takes discipline to stop chasing the urgent. It takes clarity to recognize the difference between what's screaming and what's important. Just because something feels urgent doesn't mean it deserves your full day. Just because someone else says it's an emergency doesn't mean it has to become your emergency. You have to protect your time like it's your most valuable currency, because it is. And the highest return comes when you invest your time finishing meaningful things, not reacting to meaningless noise. Think about your biggest dreams for a minute, the real ones. The ones you rarely even talk about because they mean so much to you. Those dreams are quiet. They don't chase you down every morning. They don't send you reminders every afternoon. They sit there, waiting for you to remember them, waiting for you to choose them over the little fires life throws at you every day. And the saddest thing is, most people don't fail because they didn't have enough talent. Most people don't fail because they didn't have enough opportunity. They fail because they got stuck living urgent to urgent, emergency to emergency, busy task to busy task, and they never finished what really mattered. If you want to break out of the average life, you have to break the addiction to urgency. You have to be willing to disappoint people sometimes. You have to be willing to let small things wait. You have to be willing to say, no, not now, to distractions, even good distractions, so you can say yes to what will build you a real future. Meaningful work doesn't always feel exciting in the moment. Sometimes it feels slow. Sometimes it feels invisible. Sometimes it feels like nobody notices and nobody cares. But that's where greatness is built, in the quiet hours, finishing the projects that matter, even when the world is yelling for your attention somewhere else. One of the most powerful habits you can build is to ask yourself every morning, what's the most meaningful thing I can finish today? Not the most urgent, not the thing that's going to impress people, not the thing that's going to give you a quick reward, but the thing that, if you finished it, would truly move your life forward. And here's the key. Once you pick it, protect it, work on it like it's sacred. Guard that time like a treasure. Turn off the noise. Close the door. Tell the world it can wait, because it can. 90% of what feels urgent isn't life or death. It's just noise disguised as importance. Most emails can wait. Most texts can wait. Most so-called emergencies are not emergencies at all when you stop and think about them. Every great success story you've ever heard, every great business built, every book written, every breakthrough created happened because someone was willing to finish the meaningful work while ignoring the urgent noise. They understood that urgent passes quickly. But meaning stays. Meaning changes lives. Meaning builds legacies. The good news is, this isn't complicated. You don't need 1,000 strategies. You don't need some secret formula. You just need to do one thing every single day. Carve out time to finish something meaningful before you deal with the urgent. That's it. Before you open your email, before you return the calls, before you run to solve somebody else's small problem, finish something meaningful. It could be an hour of focused writing. It could be making the one important call you've been delaying. It could be finishing a part of the project you know will open bigger doors. It doesn't have to be massive. It just has to matter. Build your life around finishing things that matter. Let the urgent adjust around your priorities, not the other way around. You'll find something amazing happens when you start living this way. Your stress drops, your energy rises. You stop feeling like life is just chasing you down every day. You feel stronger, you feel clear. You move from living by accident to living by design. Most of the stress people feel isn't because they have too much to do. It's because they aren't doing the right things. It's because they're reacting all day instead of creating. It's because they're chasing urgency instead of choosing meaning. And the minute you flip that around, everything changes. Your dreams are still alive. Your goals are still reachable, but they are waiting for you to choose them again. They are waiting for you to value them enough to protect them. They're waiting for you to finish them, even if the rest of the world is yelling for your attention somewhere else. Don't wait for the urgent to calm down, because it won't. You have to choose. You have to draw the line. You have to decide that your meaningful work matters enough to protect it. And you have to finish it. Not someday when life gets easier, but today. In the middle of the noise, in the middle of the demands, in the middle of life. Because here's the truth. The world will always have another urgent thing to throw at you, but your future depends on you making a different choice. Finish what is meaningful, build what matters. Let the noise wait. Build your life around that simple, powerful principle, and you will create a future far greater than anything you could ever achieve just by staying busy. The world will try to rush you. Life will try to distract you. But your best life is waiting quietly for you to finish what matters most. Number 9, make every task you do count toward your dreams. Every day you wake up, you are given a simple choice. Either you move closer to your dreams or you move further away. There is no standing still. Every task you complete, every action you take, either builds your future or steals from it. And that's why you must start treating every single task like it matters. Because it does. It's easy to forget this when life gets busy. It's easy to fall into the habit of just getting through the day, checking boxes, finishing little chores, answering messages, rushing from one thing to another without ever stopping to ask, is this moving me closer to the life I want? Most people never ask that question. They just run. They run from morning until night, thinking movement alone will save them. But movement alone doesn't change your life. Only meaningful movement changes your life. You have to be ruthless with your energy. You have to be clear with your purpose. You have to start seeing every hour as an investment. Not something you spend carelessly, but something you invest with intention. Because your life is built task by task, habit by habit, day by day. You don't suddenly wake up successful. You build success in the quiet hours when nobody is watching by choosing wisely how you spend your moments. Imagine if you treated every action like a building block. Every conversation, every project, every small task, either stacking up to create something beautiful or falling to the side, wasted. That's exactly how it works. Little things matter because they add up. Small efforts matter because they create momentum. Every task you complete in the right direction strengthens your character, sharpens your skills, and moves you one step closer to your dreams. But it requires honesty. You can't fool yourself. You can't pretend that busy work is building you. You can't tell yourself that just because you're tired at the end of the day, you're automatically successful. You have to be willing to pause and ask, is this action making me better? Is it opening new doors? Is it moving me closer to the life I said I wanted? Dreams don't fall into your lap. They don't happen because you wish hard enough. Dreams are built by people who make small decisions every day to stay on the path, to keep choosing actions that matter, to resist the pull of easy distractions and quick rewards. It's not about being perfect. It's not about doing everything right all the time. It's about direction. It's about consistency. It's about understanding that every choice counts. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to make today count. You just have to make the next task a building block instead of a wasted step. And when you live this way, when you start asking yourself at every step, is this moving me closer to my dreams? You start building incredible momentum. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You stop chasing distractions that only leave you empty. You become focused, you become sharper. You start building a life you are proud to live, not one you are trying to escape from. Now, some people will tell you that small things don't matter, is that little actions don't make a difference. They are wrong. They are lazy thinkers. Everything counts. Every effort counts. Every time you choose to show up with purpose, it counts. Every time you put your full focus into your work, even when nobody is watching, it counts. Every time you finish what you started instead of quitting halfway, it counts. You are training your future self with the actions you take today. You are building the habits, the mindset, the strength you will need later, right now. Or you are weakening yourself piece by piece by choosing easy over meaningful. The choice is always there, every hour, every task, every decision. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be serious. You do have to care enough about your future to act like it matters. You do have to care enough about your dreams to stop treating your time like it's cheap. It's not cheap. It's the most valuable thing you have. Once it's gone, you don't get it back. Every day you get one chance to spend it wisely. And don't make the mistake of thinking it's about grand gestures. Most of the life you build is built quietly, not in big announcements, not in loud achievements, but in silent hours of disciplined, meaningful action. It's built in the moments when you choose to stay focused instead of distracted. It's built in the moments when you choose to keep your word to yourself, even when nobody would know if you quit. Every task you complete with excellence, every hour you spend building instead of drifting, every decision you make with your future in mind, it all stacks up, it all matters, it all becomes your life. And the beautiful thing is, it's all in your control. You don't need permission to live this way. You don't need the right timing, you don't need the perfect conditions. You just need to decide that your future matters enough to start treating every moment like it counts. Make every task you do count toward your dreams. Start today, not next year, not next month, today. Because today's decisions are tomorrow's reality. Today's discipline is tomorrow's freedom. Today's small wins are tomorrow's big victories. The life you want is not far away. It's just waiting for you to start building it. One intentional task at a time. One focused hour at a time. One meaningful decision at a time. Your dreams are real. They are possible, but they will only be real if you treat them like they matter. Right now, today, with every step you take. That's the difference between those who dream and those who live their dreams. Choose to live yours. Number 10, guard your mornings and protect your best thinking hours. There's something special about the early hours. The world is still quiet, the distractions are still sleeping, the noise hasn't started yet. In those hours, you hold a power that you can either waste or multiply. That's why the way you use your mornings matters more than most people realize. And it's why you must protect your best thinking hours like they are gold, because they are. You can always tell a lot about a person's future by looking at how they spend their mornings. If the morning is chaotic, rushed, unplanned, the day usually follows the same pattern. If the morning is slow, unfocused, filled with distractions, the rest of the day becomes a blur. But when a person guards their mornings, when they wake up with purpose, when they give themselves time to think, to plan, to build their mind before the world demands their attention, everything changes. You don't have to be a genius to build a great life. You just have to be wise about your windows of power. And for most people, the first few hours after waking up are the sharpest hours they get. That's when the mind is fresh. That's when your energy is strongest. That's when your vision is clearest. You haven't yet been drained by phone calls, meetings, small fires, or distractions. You are at your best, even if you don't always feel it yet. But if you give those hours away, if you start your day scrolling, reacting, rushing, answering every little notification, you lose something you can't get back. You lose your best thinking time to other people's priorities. You lose the hours that could have been invested in your dreams, in your skills, in your life. The real tragedy is not that people are busy. The real tragedy is that they waste their sharpest energy on things that don't even matter. By the time they get around to their real goals, their minds are tired, their energy is drained, and they don't have much left to give. They try to work on their dreams and the leftovers of the day, when they could have given it their best. Guarding your mornings is not just about discipline. It's about self-respect. It's about recognizing that your dreams deserve the best you, not the tired, distracted version of you. It's about treating your own goals as seriously as you treat other people's demands. Imagine starting your mornings differently. Imagine waking up and giving yourself one quiet hour to build your mind, to think clearly, to write down what matters, to make a real plan for the day before the noise starts. Imagine how different your days would feel if you started with strength instead of stress. If you built your life on offense instead of defense. You don't have to give your mornings to the world. You don't have to check messages before you've even had a chance to check in with yourself. You don't have to say yes to every little thing that demands your attention before breakfast. You are allowed to claim that time. You are allowed to say, this first hour is mine. This first hour is sacred. This first hour is for thinking, for building, for preparing. Because once you give those hours away, you rarely get them back. The day takes over, the urgent takes over, the noise takes over. And the things that mattered most get pushed to the side once again until tomorrow, until next week, until someday. The people who build great lives, they build them in the quiet hours when no one is clapping, no one is watching, no one is demanding. They build them in the disciplined hours when they choose their goals over distractions, their values over noise, their dreams over laziness. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You don't have to run a perfect schedule, but you do have to fight for your best hours. You do have to protect your mornings like your future depends on it, because it does. Use those early hours to read something that strengthens your mind. Write down your goals, map out your priorities, plan your strategy, visualize the future you are working for. Get yourself aligned before the world tries to pull you in 100 different directions. If you master your mornings, you will master your days. And if you master your days, you will eventually master your life. It's not complicated, it's just uncommon. Most people won't do it. Most people will keep living reactive lives. Waking up already behind, rushing through the morning, letting the day control them instead of the other way around. But you are not most people. You are here because you want something different. You are here because you are building something better. And that starts by taking full ownership of your time, especially your best time. You are sharper than you think. You are stronger than you realize. You are capable of more than you've been living. But it starts with discipline. It starts with honoring your best hours, not giving them away cheap to distractions that won't mean anything 5 years from now. Start tomorrow. Start by carving out even just 30 minutes where you control the input. No phone, no emails, no news, just you, your mind, your goals, your future. Watch what happens when you give yourself that gift. Watch how your clarity rises. Watch how your confidence builds. Watch how much more powerful your actions become when they are rooted in clear, focused mornings. Success is not one big lucky moment. It's 1,000 small right choices made consistently over time. Guarding your mornings is one of those small right choices. It seems simple, it seems ordinary, but over time it becomes extraordinary. Make the decision today that you will no longer give away your sharpest hours. Make the decision today that you will no longer start your days reacting to everything and everyone. Make the decision today that your dreams deserve your first and best attention, not your leftovers. Your mornings are your launch pad. Protect them, use them wisely, and watch how fast your life begins to change. You don't get points for staying busy. You don't win just because you work harder than everyone else. You win when your efforts build something real. You win when you stop chasing distractions and start moving with real purpose. Every day, you have a choice to waste time on what doesn't matter or to invest your time into what will change your life. Busy is easy, productive is rare. Choose rare. Choose to be the person who finishes what matters. Choose to be the person who protects their dreams. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't hope life will slow down. Take control now. Focus on what counts. Move with purpose. Build something you're proud of. And remember, your future is not created by how fast you move. It's created by how wisely you move. Make today count.